Hey everybody, it's Christine up for the scrap room today, and I am using the Flavors of the Month kit. This one is featuring the Simple Stories Summer Farmhouse collection, and you've seen me work with this collection already. It's a great collection, fabulous, unique colors for summer. So let's dive into today's creation. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm using like a cream colored cardstock for my base. And then I am going to add these 3/4 inch strips around the outside to create a floral border. And then I'm going to miter the edges. So all that means is I am just going back after I've put them on and I just didn't secure the corners well. And then I just trim in from the corner and towards the center. So I create an angle on each edge. And all that does is just gives you a little bit of a cleaner look rather than overlapping or ending them on a straight edge. It just creates a cleaner look and it's not hard at all to do. And once I've got those trimmed accordingly, I'll just go back and secure them with some adhesive. One of the things I always like to do on my layouts is to use circles in my bases. I love the shape, I love the look, and I just often gravitate towards that design. So today what I'm going to try and do is change up that circle a little bit. I'm going to start by using this very simple polka dotted patterned paper. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bright yellow patterned paper and I'm going to punch out a whole bunch of circles. And I am going to keep those all the same size and use those to transform my circle into a flower look or a scallop circle look. Either phrase would work. So what I'm going to do is just go all the way around and just tuck those underneath. Sorry, the top there is a little bit off camera, but you'll see it as I go along. And you can see I'm just going through and tucking them in just shy of halfway to create a uniform look all the way around. Now my circle is a 10-inch circle, so it's big, especially when you can factor in that my flower border around the outside is 1.5 inches. So that does mean that my circles are going to overlap onto the border just a smidge, which is fine. It wasn't what I had planned, but it's fine. One additional point on that before I talk about the rest of my layout is that I did use small 3D foam squares underneath each of those circles. So you can see from this view that there's a dimensional lift going on, and that was just, again, a simple way to add some dimension. I had to use adhesive to secure those anyway, so I opted for that route. Just on that outside piece though, the underneath piece is tucked in nice and tight. Now I'm going to add 2 pictures on here, and I'm going to use this red gingham paper as a base for it. The pictures are of the same kids but 2 different poses, and you can see how nicely the shirt color that they're wearing coordinates with the colors in this collection. So this was an easy way to pull both together. Oftentimes I will pick my product that I need to work with or I'm assigned to work with and then go through my pictures that would work for that occasion and see what I have that would work within it. I hope that makes sense. So like for instance today, this is a summer collection. So I knew, okay, I needed some summery type pictures. And so when I saw these ones that have the red and yellow and greens, I knew they would work well for this particular collection. Versus if I was working with one that was all pinks and turquoise and blues, it wouldn't work as good. But because it's got the primary colors going here, it worked really nicely. And that's just one of my approaches. It's very rare these days that I start with the picture and build the layout from there, because usually I'm working with a signed product. Now every once in a while I just get to go out on a whim and do whatever I want, and then I do often pick the picture first. But I thought that would give you some good insight into how I arrive at my picture process. Now, as always, I've built my base. I've added my pictures. Now it's time to do the title and the embellishing. I'm going to add a couple of little tags here underneath. These tags are the same color cardstock as my base cream color. This collection has a lot of off-white cream in it. It does have some white elements as well, so you can see I matted my pictures in white, and that works. I love the way that Simple Stories is able to pull together both white and cream into the same collections. You don't see that very often, and that's just a unique thing that I've noticed. The more I work with them, the more I enjoy that look. I am going to add a couple of little tiny twine bows to the top of those. And I'm kind of debating back and forth. We'll see where I land, if I'm going to do bows or if I'm going to just let them hang freely and just kind of have a tail hanging in the wind, if you will. But either way, I'm going to add some texture to the whole layout by adding that to the tags. Been on a little bit of a tag kick lately. If you've been watching my videos, my real recent videos, I've been using tags quite a bit as a layer within my layout. And it looks like I decided that those tails would work really nicely. And you can see how that just adds some interesting movement and texture to the layout throughout. Now, let's get some title work on here. This was a little bit of a challenge for me. I really liked the title options within the page kit, and so I really wanted to be able to use those, but figuring out how to make them work exactly was a little bit tricky for me. So my title doesn't pop off the page quite as much as it normally would. I really like my title to be obvious and really pop. In today's case, it kind of blends in with the pictures a little bit. And again, just a different, that's how things worked out this time. No giant title, no popping off the page, but it is in there, and it's just a more subtle part of the layout. I opted to use that memories word, which is a foam sticker from Simple Stories that was in the page kit. I'm also using the embellishment kit, so I've got a mixture of stuff in there. Now I'm going to pull out these color vibe stickers from Simple Stories. These are not part of the kit. These are great. They're just letter sticker books, and I love them. One trick though, these are pretty committed stickers. Once you put them on, they don't come up real easily, particularly on pictures. The reason for that is that they are a thinner, more lightweight material. They're not cardstock, and so they don't have quite the same ability to pull up, which I tend to be a pull-upper as I'm working. So just a warning on that. I do really love these, and I'm finding myself going to them constantly as I'm building titles, building subtitles, etc., because it's just nice to have the color options. And I like that they have within there 2 big sizes of the print font and then the little block letters as well. Carrying on, I do want to talk a little bit about the scrap room. If you're new here, you haven't heard this before. If you aren't new here, you hear me talk about this regularly because I want to make sure people know what the scrap room is. They have a couple different options for kits. You can get the Flavors of the Month, which is this one, and that contains 4 different page kits. 4 totally different collections. You get 3 patterned papers, you get some cardstock, you get some embellishments. On to that, you can add on more patterned paper, you can add on embellishment kits, you can add on cardstock kits. She's got all sorts of different options. Additionally, she has the double shot kit that has 2 more page kits that are totally different from Flavors of the Month that you can get. And so every month you get the newest stuff from the scrapbooking world, and she does a great job of trying to balance boy stuff, girl stuff, seasonal stuff, non-seasonal stuff. She just does a great job of that, and chances are if there's a collection out there that you've seen that you like, it's probably coming up in a kit. I literally do not have to buy anything just to play with. When I see collections, I always just wait for my scrap room kit to come because I know she's going to give me a little taste of it, and then I'll know if I want to get more of it. All that said, we're going to wrap up this layout, and I definitely want to encourage you to head on over to the scrap room and check out this month's kits and get in on them before they sell out, if you haven't had a chance already, and if not, get in for next month. So I am just finishing off the embellishing. I'm going to add in a few heart stickers, and I'm going to pop some of those up with 3D foam adhesives. I'm also going to use some of the ephemera. Again, I have the embellishment kit as well as the page kit, so I've got lots of different embellishments to be working with, and just kind of trying to figure out which ones I want to use, building a visual triangle around my pictures to create a look that focuses that eye in on the pictures and title. As always, I love to finish up with some enamel dots or Nuvo drops, and in today's case even more because it helps to tie in the circles, the big circles and the smaller circles that I already have going on into the area that my pictures are in. So I'm going to use these yellow enamel dots that came in the page kit, and I am going to just add those around my embellishment clusters that I've already got going. So thank you so much for stopping by today. Hope you enjoyed this video showcasing this month's Flavors of the Month kit, and we will see you again next time.